Very good morning dear children, welcome back. This video is for class 10 science chapter number 15 our environment, and this is video lecture number 3. In today's lecture we are going to study the following topics: ecological pyramids, biomagnification and effects of human activities on the environment. So let us begin with our first topic, that is ecological pyramids. Ecological pyramids. So children, a graphical representation of various trophic levels of a food chain which forms the pyramid-shaped structure are called ecological pyramids. In an ecological pyramid, the producer level forms the base and the successive levels are formed by herbivorous, carnivorous organisms, and at the apex, the top carnivorous, they come. Ecological pyramids are of three types. The first type is pyramid of numbers. So, pyramid of number shows the number of organisms at different trophic levels of an ecosystem. But here, the shape of the pyramid that will form, that may be upright or inverted depending upon whether the number of organisms gradually increase or decrease as we move towards the apex of the pyramid. So here we have two diagrams in front of you. One is a grassland ecosystem and another is a tree ecosystem. So when we discuss these two different types of ecosystems, you will find that one is upright and one is inverted. So here, as the pyramids of numbers, they show the number of organisms. So, as we see that in a grassland ecosystem, the producers are larger in number and in comparison to the primary consumers or secondary consumers. So, as the number of grass is more, and then on the successive levels of the consumers, the number of organisms that are eating up the lower trophic level organisms are decreasing. So, in that number or that manner, you can say that this will be upright pyramid, as the producers, they are forming the base and they are having the largest number. So, as we go towards the apex or towards the tertiary consumers, you will find that the number of organisms in each trophic level is being decreased. Now, here we have another example. Tree ecosystem. Tree is just one producer. Then the product of the tree are taken up by herbivorous organisms. So here we have some birds. Now producer was one. Herbivorous organisms taking up their food from the tree are more in number. So that means at the producer level we have the apex, and as we go in the higher trophic levels of the organisms, the number of organisms being increased. So, the pyramid or pyramid of numbers is inverted here. The second ecological pyramid is pyramid of biomass. So, pyramid of biomass shows the total biomass of all the organisms at each trophic level. It can also be upright or inverted depending upon whether the total biomass of the organisms at each trophic level is increasing or decreasing. So here again we have example of two different ecosystems. One is grassland ecosystem and another is pond ecosystem. So in case of grassland ecosystem, the biomass of the grass or the producer level is greater. Then the herbivorous and the carnivorous, they have the lesser biomass. So biomass is gradually decreasing as we go from producers to consumers. So it is upright in nature. Then in a pond's ecosystem, producers are the algae. So they are eaten up by herbivorous organisms. Then they are eaten up by carnivorous or like fishes. Then small fishes are eaten up by big fishes. So in that manner, the biomass of organisms at each trophic level is increasing. So this pyramid of biomass is upright down or inverted. Then third is pyramid of energy. So pyramid of energy shows the rate of energy flow at successive tropic levels. It follows the 10% law and it is always upright. So here we have the diagram which shows one ecosystem, and this is common ecosystem. We have producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers. So here at the producer level we know that energy is highest or maximum, and it keeps on decreasing as we go towards the different tropic levels in the consumer side. So that's why the base is broader and then apex is having a very small amount of energy. So energy always gradually decrease as we go into different tropic levels in consumers. So it is always upright. Next topic is our second topic, that is biomagnification, or it is also called as biological magnification. What is getting magnified? The chemicals or harmful chemicals, I should say. So we can define biomagnification as it is a phenomenon by which harmful chemicals are accumulated in the tissues of organisms at higher levels in a food chain. Now, what do you mean by this? What is getting accumulated? It is some harmful chemicals, and by which process it is getting accumulated in each stage of the consumers. Let us see it. So children, as we know that toxic chemicals like fungicides, pesticides or herbicides, they are used to protect the crops from the disease, and large amount of them, when they are used in the fields to protect the crops from the diseases, then large amount of them is washed away into the soil and water bodies. Then from the soil, they are absorbed by the plants along with the water and minerals. And from the water bodies, these chemicals are taken up by the aquatic plants and animals. When herbivorous organisms eat plant food, then these chemicals they enter into their bodies. When carnivores eat up the herbivorous organisms, then chemicals are transferred to the bodies of the carnivores. If a man eats the carnivorous organisms, as the men or the humans, they are eating both plants as well as animal flesh. So all this accumulated harmful chemical is going into the body of the human after getting transferred from the carnivorous to humans. Then what happens? As we know that these chemicals are not degradable, so they get accumulated progressively at each level. When from soil and water they are coming into the plants or the producers, then they go to the herbivorous organisms. From herbivorous they go to the carnivorous and omnivorous, and finally they reach up to the highest tropic level, that is humans, and they get accumulated in the tissues of humans. And this accumulation of these chemicals in the body of humans and other higher animals, they cause several health problems. So health issues are developed. Since human beings occupy the top position, the highest concentration gets accumulated in humans. We cannot protect ourselves from being affected by these harmful chemicals, but by using or regulating the pesticide level in different food items, that can reduce the severeness of this defect or these kind of diseases. So the third topic is effect of human activities on the environment. So we, the humans, we are a very important part of the environment, and each activity changes the environment And finally, it is going to affect us in various ways. We pollute the natural sources, and that changes the quality of the environment in which we live. So, although there are many activities which are putting harmful effects on the environment, but here in your NCERT, two major problems have been discussed, or two major activities are being discussed. First is ozone layer depletion. Ozone layer and its depletion, the first activity of humans. So, how ozone layer is getting depleted because of the activities of humans? Let us study in detail. We know that ozone, O3, is a molecule that contains 3 atoms of oxygen combined together. Though the oxygen is essential for respiration of living organisms, but O3 is a highly poisonous gas. But how does it forms? Ozone or O3 is formed by the action of UV rays which are coming from the sun. The UV rays are so strong that they break down the O2 molecule into individual oxygen atoms, and these are further reacting with the oxygen molecule and making the O3 molecule. So it is the formation of the ozone gas. Then what is ozone layer? About 20 to 50 kilometers from the Earth's surface, there is a protective layer formed by O3 molecules around the Earth's surface. That surface or that layer of O3 molecules is called the ozone layer. This ozone layer is very important for us, for the existence of humans as well as all other living organisms on the Earth's surface, as it absorbs the harmful ultraviolet rays coming from the sun. And how the UV rays can be harmful for us, or the harmful effects of UV rays are that UV rays can cause skin cancers. They can damage the eyes by causing the cataract and other eye problems. So in that manner, UV rays or ultraviolet rays are very harmful for us or every living organism. But ozone, as it is protecting us from ultraviolet rays, it is very essential for the existence of life on Earth. But how it is getting depleted with the passes of time? So we know that because of the activities of humans, or the depletion of ozone layer is due to the use of chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs and ODS or ozone depleting substances. So because of the use of CFCs and ODS, the depletion of ozone layer is taking place. What are CFCs? CFCs or chlorofluorocarbons are the chemicals which are used in refrigerator, air conditioners, fire extinguishers and DOs. So when they come into the air or environment, they can cause the ozone layer depletion. And the depletion of ozone layer, it forms ozone holes. As we know that over the Antarctica, we have a very big ozone hole. That means from that place, ozone layer has got depleted and the harmful UV rays are reaching to the Earth's surface. If this keeps on growing, then that day is not very far away that the living beings will have their existence in danger because of the presence of the ultraviolet rays. So what we can do as humans to reduce the depletion that is occurring in the ozone layer? We can stop using the articles or the products which are using CFCs and ODS. Nowadays, in most of the countries, these kind of products are banned. But still, by avoiding using these kind of chemicals, we can at least extend the timings of the existence of life. Because even if we start using the products which are free of CFCs and ODS, then also it will take hundreds of years to recover that ozone hole or that depletion in the ozone layer that has already taken place. The second method is by managing the garbage that we produce. Now, what do you mean by garbage? You might have seen the disposable items or the wrappers. They are there on the roads or side of roads or in a public area. So all they come under the garbage. Other than that, household waste, agricultural waste, industrial waste and hospital waste, they are also included in the garbage. Garbage includes the fruits, vegetable peels, waste papers, ash, leather, rubber, plastic articles, glass or metal articles, which are coming from these different sectors. Out of all these waste materials, some of them are biodegradable, where most of them are non-biodegradable. If it is left in open, then it can pollute the environment. So we have basically two different methods by which we can reduce or we can manage the garbage that we produce. One is methods of garbage disposal and other is reducing the waste at individual level. So let us begin with the first, methods of garbage disposal, which is including landfills, recycling, sewage treatment, composting and incineration. So the first method is landfills. Landfills is a method of disposing solid waste by putting them in a lower area and covering it with soil or earth. It is the oldest method to dispose the garbage, and the landfills are generally made very far away from the residential areas. Second is recycling. Recycling is the process of collecting and converting the waste materials into new products. For example, we have paper, cardboard, metals and plastic materials which can be recycled. So waste materials, first they are collected, then sorted, cleaned and then finally they are processed for new product formation. For example, broken and waste plastic articles, they are all reprocessed by molding or melting the plastic items and then molding them into the new structures. For example, the buckets, cans, plates of plastic, they are melted and remolded into new products like chair and table. So similarly, waste paper can also be reprocessed and can make a new paper. Then the third method is sewage treatment. It is a method of removing the pollutants from the waste water and producing clean water, and then this clean water is being discharged into the water bodies like rivers or canals. So the dirty water from the sink, shower, toilet, that is carried by the underground water pipes, which are called as sewage or sewers. That water, polluted water, is called as sewage. If this sewage is being transferred to the water bodies directly, then it can pollute them. So sewage is treated to clean the water, and then this clean water is discharged into the rivers or water bodies. So third is done. Then we are having the fourth point, which is as composting. So compost means to produce manure. So composting is a process of converting organic matters like fruit or vegetable peels. Then we have tea leaves or the waste products from the kitchen. They can be converted into compost. Because all these organic matters, they are having many of the nutrients in them. So by digging a pit into the garden or in the earthen pots, we can keep them. So by keeping them into the soil for some time, they can be converted into compost. Last is Incineration. Incineration is a process of burning the organic substances at a very high temperature. Let's say it is greater than 1000 degrees Celsius to form ash. What is the benefit of it? That wherever we have the lack of land area to collect the waste or to dump the garbage, in those cases it is done. Incineration is a process in which large amount of garbage is burned, and after that burning, this large amount of garbage will convert into the small amount of ash. So now that ash can be transferred to the landfills or some other areas. Now it will cover a very less space, and the pollution because of the garbage will be decreased as the volume of the waste is decreased here. So it is very good method. The second method of managing the garbage that we produce can be by reducing the waste at individual level. And how can we do that? It can be done by using the paper, cloth or jute bags while shopping instead of the plastic bags that we use, because those plastic bags are non-degradable and all these paper, cloth and jute bags are all degradable. Then by using reusable or recyclable items, so that will also not affect the environment and hence it will reduce the garbage that we produce. By using environment friendly items which are not harmful for environment at all. The last point is by converting the biodegradable waste into the compost. That is also a very good step to convert the waste into a important and useful product. So all these are the methods to reduce the waste at individual level that we can do by ourselves, and we can initiate it by doing the segregation of the waste products produced at our home. We can segregate them as biodegradable or non-biodegradable items, and then for the biodegradable items we can do the composting, and for non-biodegradable items we can do the recycling, or we can send them to recycling. So this is all about the chapter. We have completed our chapter number 15 with this topic. Tomorrow's lecture, we are going to have the complete summary of the chapter. Now, let us see today's homework. In today's homework, there are total 6 questions, and your first question is, what is ozone and how does it affect the ecosystem? Question number 2 is, how can you help in reducing the problems of waste disposal? Give any 2 methods. Question number 3 is, why are pesticides so harmful? Question number 4 is, which one of the following will have the highest concentration of chemicals in its body? Grass, eagle, grasshopper, snake or frog? Question number 5 is, how is ozone layer beneficial for the earth? Question number 6 is, how can we recycle our biodegradable waste? So these were the 6 questions as today's homework, and the solutions of the homework of previous lecture will be discussed in the online class. So I'll see you in the summary lecture now. Till then, take care and goodbye.